Welcome everyone to the Passionate Pack Rat. This is the first video, the premiere video for the Pack Rat, and I'd roll out the red carpet in its honor, but I don't have a red carpet. I never collected them. That's one of the few things I haven't collected. I have collected baseball cards and hockey cards, McDonald's toys, McDonald's hockey cards, still in their packages, the same with the toys, pins, 45s, Hummels, Royal Daltons, what else have I, photos, and what you see in front of you, record albums. This is just a fraction of what you see of my collection that I started back in the 60s. Well, actually, my grandparents started me collecting albums back in the 60s. At a very young age, when I was a baby, according to my mom, I would bounce and clap and do whatever whenever I listened to music on the radio. So when I was old enough, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, I bought my first 45. She Loves You, Yeah, 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 by the Beatles. And I also bought several other Beatles, such as Help, I Need Somebody, Anybody, as well as Dave Clark 5, and like I said, other Beatles records, We Can Work It Out, and lots on the Capitol label, and even a few on the Apple label. But I won't get into that at this point in venture. My grandparents, there you see right there, hard-working couple, conservative, survived the Depression, survived the Second World War, and they were old-fashioned, as you can see in the picture. But my grandmother, who was the perpetrator behind giving me albums, she was a lot cooler than I gave her credit for. Collaborating with my mother, who would go through my 45 collection and look at what I got, and then pass the tips on to my grandmother. And in 1965, my grandparents gave me Hermits on tour, their second album. I'm Henry the VIII, I Am was their smash hit on that. We used to sing it, my cousins and I used to sing that ad nauseum down at the cottage. This is a pretty good album. It's Can't You Hear My Heartbeat was a big hit for them, and of course I'm Henry the VIII, I Am was huge. They do a beautiful version of Skeeter Davis's The End of the World, who wrote the song about her dad's passing. For Your Love, Silhouettes, Heartbeat, Traveling Light. It's a good poppy album. Well done. And I'm just going to put them over my grandparents, since they were the ones who started all this. In 1966, they blew me away. They turned me on to Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited, his first full electric album. And it's probably one of my favorites, definitely one of my favorites, probably because it was the first album I got by him. I have probably 14, 15 album CDs by him now. Anyways, Like a Rolling Stone, huge for him. Tombstone Blues, from a Buick 6, Ballad of a Thin Man, features his famous Mr. Jones. On the second side, Queen Jane Approximately and Highway 61 Revisited. Just like Tom Thumb's Blues. And my favorite song is probably Desolation Row. Song I somewhat can relate to. Very cool. It was a very nice gift. I had heard Dylan, of course, on the radio, Blowing in the Wind, and songs like that. But yeah, that was my first album by him. The Sounds of Silence. This was sandwiched, believe it or not. I first heard this at my grandmother's house. It was sandwiched in between Nat King Cole and the Sound of Music soundtrack and My Fair Lady and Perry Como and his orchestra. Good album. Very good album. I think this was their second album as well. Yeah, The Sounds of Silence. If you don't know the lyrics, it's a beautiful song, but the lyrics probably still apply to today's world, I'm thinking. Yeah, other songs, Kathy's songs and Angie's pretty song, Richard Cory, A Most Peculiar Man. We've got a groovy thing going, and I Am a Rock, I Am an Island. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, I first heard that at my grandmother's house. Like I said, yeah, she looks very conservative, but she's très cool. Très cool. So that was 66, 67, I believe. That came out in 66, but they gave it to me in 67. 68, they blew me away. I'll just show you that right at the bottom there. The Beatles' White Album. The original pressings had a number fixed to them on the bottom right corner on the cover, like this. Mind you, there are millions. I have another copy of the Beatles' White Album, and it does not have a number. Very good album, though. You talk about the variety, the variety of talent that they display on this album's simply amazing. You know, poppy songs like Back in the USSR and Oobla Dee and Oobla Da, and you know, Happiness is a Warm Gun, Satire, Piggies, Rocky Raccoon, Don't Pass Me By, beautiful ballads like I Will, Julia, Blackbird, you know, and then there's hard rock, like Your Blues and Helter Skelter and Revolution, although that's not hard rock, Revolution 1. And my favorite song on the album is the last song, Good Night, sung by Mr. Ringo Starr. I used to sing that now and again to my children at bedtime, you know, just to give them a little nightmare or night terrors. And if you still have them, sorry kids. Hope you're not doing that with your kids. Anyways, yeah, tremendous album. Probably my favorite album, only due to the variety and of this. I mean, they made so many great albums. It's like trying to pick your favorite food. You know, you have so many. Anyways, 1969, I unwrapped this under the tree. 24 dynamic hits, original stars. Actually, and I was quite disappointed when I, you know, being the spoiled kid that I was. But, you know, it's actually not a bad album. Good variety, Guess Who from Canada, and same with Andy Kim's on here, another Canadian. Booker T and the MGs, and the Turtles, and Edwin Hawkins Singers, Solomon Burke. Yeah, it's pretty good, you know, and of course, being a kid, I checked everything off that I liked, and I probably did that right until 69, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. But yeah, I checked off the songs I liked, and that's what I did back in the day. You know, again, I didn't have these albums to preserve. I had them to listen to, and they have brought me so much enjoyment over the years, like music does, you know, for a lot of people. For my birthday in 69, they gave me another Beatles album. And you know, the best thing about this Beatles album, the Yellow Submarine, is the cover. You're looking at it. And that's the best thing on this album. Now, it's not to say that they had a few good songs on it. The back cover is kind of cool, too. Yellow Submarine, Only a Northern Song, All Together Now, Hey Bulldog's kind of cool. It's All Too Much by George Harrison. And All You Need Is Love. It's probably the biggest song off that that got most airplay, although Yellow Submarine got a lot of airplay. But yeah, I love the covers. Side 2 is soundtrack from the movie. And when the movie came out, I went and saw it. I think it came out in 70. It sucked. I gotta tell you. I'm sorry. Sorry, Beatles. I thought I'd never say that about the Beatles. They're obviously one of my favorite bands, although I don't listen to them that much anymore. Now and again. 1970. Another Christmas present. Another K-Tel production. 20 Heavy Hits, Volume 1 this time. And this is actually quite good. Only because of the bands that are on it, the entertainers. Like Sly and the Family Stone, and I Want to Take You Higher, and the Hollies. Ian Heavy, he's my brother. Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, and Spiral Staircase. Mark Lindsay does Arizona. Janis Joplin is on here. Same with the Byrds. Turn, 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 great song. Stampeders, Canadian band. Carry Me. Andy Kim's on here as well. The song I probably relate to the most is song number 5, Burning Bridges, but Mike Curb Congregation. If you don't know the lyrics, go check them out. I've had a tendency in my life to set things on fire just to watch them burn. Hypothetically speaking, of course. Yeah, right. Anyways, great album. Melanie, all kinds of great groups on here. So that was 1970, Under the Christmas Tree. They did give me a variety. However, 1971, they absolutely blew me away. And I mean blew me away. They gave me Chicago, live at Carnegie Hall. This is a 4-album set, was a 4-album set. And it features a lot of their hits, such as Color My World and 25 or 6 to 4 and I'm a Man and Make Me Smile. But very good album, South California Purples, nice song. Fancy Colors, cool. Question 67 and 68. They do a couple off their original album, Beginnings, and they do Beginnings here as well. Great song, great album. Chicago Transit Authority. But this back in the day, this album, or 4-album set, probably cost over $30. A lot of money in 71. 1972. Cat Stevens made a visit. He followed up, this was a smash hit album. He followed up Tea for the Tillerman. And this is Teaser and the Firecat. Great cover. And this was, as Tea for the Tillerman was huge. Teaser and the Firecat was probably just as huge, if not bigger. So many hits came off this. Peace Train and Moonshadow, Bitter Blue, Morning Has Broken, How Can I Tell You? Just a beautiful, beautiful album. If you don't know it, go listen to it. It is definitely worth. And one of the things I love about albums is they printed the lyrics either on the inside covers or on the sleeves, which, very cool. And again, the covers are so cool. I'm not sure who did the cover on this, but it doesn't really say. Anyways, regardless, I don't think it's Roger Dean. It could be. It looks a little simple for him. Simplistic, not simple. The last album I received was in 73 from my grandparents. The Who's Meaty, Beaty, Big and Bouncy. And I love the cover. Punk kids on the front step. The Who in the window looking down at them. And on the back cover is the punk group on the front steps and the punk kids in the window. This is a good album. It's all their earlier 60s stuff. Pretty well 60s. Happy Jack and I Can See for Miles and My Generation, The Seeker, Pinball Wizard, A Legal Matter, Boris the Spire, Magic Bus, Substitute. I mean, it is a very good album. But unfortunately, that was the end of the gift giving, the gift of music giving from my grandparents. Because we moved away and it wasn't convenient for them to ship records across the country, obviously. Anyways, if you like what you see, hit the like button. Please subscribe. I'm going to be giving albums away. I'm going to be giving cards away for nothing. I don't want money, but you have to be a subscriber to the Passionate Pack Rat. Leave a comment if you like. I'd love to hear from you. Or you can get a hold of me at thepassionatepackratt@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, on Facebook. And yeah, did your grandparents ever give you albums? And if they did, what albums? I'd love to hear from you. Or even your parents. I find it so cool that, you know, growing up, we often think our parents and our grandparents are pretty square. Well, this is proof that my grandparents weren't that square as I thought they might be. Anyways, till next time, take care of yourselves and take care of others. And yeah, please, if you like the video, please share this video. Sharing is one of the nicest things we can do in life. Till next time.